Welcome back everyone to the second match of the day. We have the Chingari Gulf Titans with the white pieces against the SG Alpine Warriors and Shake.
And is that a 1d4?
Ooh, he goes for the queen pawn.
You guys, we have to mention before we dive very deep into the chess analysis that Magnus Carlsen is the chess player who has not lost 125 games in a row. And guess who stopped him? Guess who stopped him?
I wonder who. I wonder who that might be.
So I'm just reading right now the article from CNN. Magnus Carlsen's 125 game unbeaten streak ended by young Christoph Duda. And this can get very personal match, you know, at some point. Oh, he wants to beat him. He wants to take him. He wants to get the World Championship title out of him, but he's not any longer the World Champion. Liren's laughing right now, back in his home, watching us. Yeah, he is very competitive, I can say, as I luckily I have some chances to chat with him more often, as I also live in Poland, and I see him quite often at the chess tournament. He wants to win, he wants to become the World Champion, and every game is his new challenge.
I think the opening is a very, very solid opening with years and years of history behind it. The very famous Queen's Gambit declined variation, putting the bishop over here. And I think right now both players are in their theory. You know, they know it, and it's a very solid opening. Ooh, there we have the 6 boards on our screen. The white bar on the bottom means if it moves ahead, and white is shown in higher measure on the left of your screens on each of the board. It means that the Chingari Gulf Titans are doing better. If the black bar comes downwards, then it's the SG Alpine Warriors who are better. Let's go to board number 2 between Mamedyarov and Gukesh. This one is going to be an important one. As we just said, all that black needs is one board where they can win. And it could be that Gukesh strikes, because in this tournament, Gukesh hasn't been at his best. He has already lost 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. He's lost to Rapport, and he is not in his best shape. He was also losing to Nadirbek Abdusattarov, but maybe this is the one where he comes back. And look at Shak's time. He's down to 11 minutes 50 seconds, while Gukesh has 15 minutes on the clock. Wow.
Exactly. This is something I think Chuck took it a little bit surprised, and also we can see the entry bar goes down a little bit and gives black a slight advantage. We see the pawn push on the other side of the board.
If there's one piece that's looking just outstanding on this board, it's this bishop here. Look at it. I mean, all Catalan bishops would be proud of it.
This is gross for black. I'm not even gonna lie. Because of the Catalan bishop, that is the one thing that you have to try to neutralize ASAP. In fact, if you don't neutralize this bishop, it's just miserable to play from the black side here. It's so, like, what do you do, right? You have to play A6, then try to get the rook to B8, but you always run into bishop F4s in certain cases. You could be able to trade, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to get rid of the pressure of the light square bishop, which is an absolute monster here. Very scary. I think Shuvalova is already having just a slight but stable advantage here, especially with the light square bishop. Black is unable to develop right now.
Let's go. 2 very, very aggressive players.
Ooh.
Love to go all in. And I guess this might be one of the first times they're playing against each other. I haven't seen them facing off against each other much. Dubov with the white pieces against Arjun. I think
move, is it?
This looks...
yeah,
the last move was knight jumping into this square. And we could say that this pawn is slightly weak. It's being attacked by the rook. The pawn in front of the backward pawn, the square is weak. But Arjun might just break here with the pawn push.
I have seen it many times. In fact, that is a rare idea, and it does happen, where you just give the pawn up to say, I'm going to get my bishop out on the long diagonal with bishop b7 at some point and play rook c8. But it is giving up a pawn in some cases, right? So here we'll be fine. We'll be able to take back. So it should be playable. c5 is definitely a move. Takes,
yeah, I mean, if this happens, then black has kind of solved all his problems, right?
I like it. I like it.
Also, another move could be to just push the knight away. Oh, he plays c5.
Plays c5.
Natural. C5. Nice
Natural
move.
Natural.
And so this one is around equal. I don't think Dubov has got any advantage out of the opening. Arjun has equalized pretty well here. Should we look at the game between Koschenyuk and Crush on
I
board
think
number
this
4?
is really interesting
Spicy.
game.
Ooh.
We can take a look how many pieces right now are just are taken, and we just observed
Whoa.
Irina took another pawn.
What's
We need to
happening
take a look
here?
at that.
The knight is right in the center of the board and she brings it back, attacking the queen.
And the bishop on d7.
Oh, the bishop is also
Be
hanging.
very careful where you move. And the knight b6. There is some compensation here. Whoa, there's crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, Sagar, for the viewers who just joins us for this a few days at the Global Chess League, we can maybe tell what is this move, queen to b2.
Magnus sacrificed a pawn earlier in that game to provoke the king to not be as safe as it normally is. That was the entire point of the pawn sacrifice played by Magnus. And what I want to do here is once we there you see the check, which is exactly why the pawn was given up, because now the king has to move.
But could he not have taken the knight here?
He could have, but I'm sure this has been analyzed at home, and this also looks perfectly playable. And honestly, this is what I expected him to do. He knows he has this. I think this is him in his. I know I have a draw pose, but I'm very desperately looking for something stronger and more exciting to play. And he's also checking out how the match is doing.
Guys, this is actually a very stressful moment, right, for Magnus, because let's say he knows that that draw is the best decision objectively, but he's looking at the screens and thinking that, oh my god, Polina Shuvalova is actually putting pressure on Elisabeth Paehtz, and in no other board I can see my team better.
Right.
What do you do? Do you kind of go beyond what the limitations on the board are? Oh, he gives a
Yes, it's chance on the board.
Oh.
f3 and bishop,
Bishop
f5.
f5, and he answers you,
there it
Sagar,
is.
right away.
Master Swindler. And look at the
Alright.
face from Duda here, like, okay, man, this is bro,
Okay.
whatever, bro.
Oh.
He takes on h2. Now,
On the
I
way
saw
he
this.
takes the pawn.
I did see this. I was like, this is something. He could check, and he can try to take the pawn on f3. But I mean, this is just another way to get a perpetual. It's very
He
possible.
just wants to
see
make a draw with full stomach, I guess. Just takes all the pawn.
Queen f3 was an idea, but there's queen e4. This is what I didn't like from black. I thought we could try to go for more with queen takes f3, which obviously hits the bishop and the pawn on e3. But queen e4 kind of is just trading everything out, and you may not even have a perpetual anymore.
Right, so
Alright.
Magnus,
There it is.
they've repeated 4 to 5 times now and agreed to a draw. So the icon board between the Chingari Gulf Titans and the SG Alpine Warriors ends in a draw. Magnus doing what was needed there, holding with the black pieces.
That's right. First game is over. We have still 5 games.
Not sure whether his decision was best for his team or not, and that's always a very precarious situation because you've done your job. Now it's up to your teammates, and there he is watching all the games.
Those 2 top boards are very interesting. Those knights.
Man, look at those knights.
Look at
These
that.
knights, as Hikaru says, on e4 and
Ooh,
c4.
second board, yes.
Wow, yes, sir. Definitely. Lots of action on that board there.
Bukesh actually going all out against Shakhriyar Mamedyarov there. Hitting the rook and then bringing in his knights, castles, rook here, and this is the live board, the position that we have. Very complicated position. I think one game which we haven't seen yet is the Prodigy board, and that one is actually an absolutely stunning matchup between Nihal Sarin and Praggnanandhaa, 2 of the most talented youngsters of Indian chess and even in the world of chess.
That's
Guys,
right.
what do you make of this? It seems like Prag has a lot of space with his pawns, but Nihal is steady there with his rooks taking up nice positions.
One of my favorite pieces to use, in fact, well, I love the bishop, so I do like a light square bishop, but I really like a dark square bishop too as well when it's very active. Now, bishop on a1 is an absolute monster. It can be obviously dealt with a bishop on g7, and of course we can try to move that, but black has the hanging pawn structure, and some weak pawns as well. It's very dynamic, to say the least. There's lots of things going for both sides.
And by the way, we have a result already on board number 3. I don't know what has just happened here. Oh, they've agreed to a draw. Daniel Dubov and Arjun Erigaisi drawn. So that means we have already 2 results out. The score is 2-2 right now. And we can just have a look at how that ended, because we saw till pawn break to c5. They traded. Things got exchanged. And Arjun was very solid there with the black pieces. So we have board number 1 draw, board number 3 draw, and maybe to tell us where the chances lie on the remaining boards. Who
Man,
won?
what happened there?
Who
King,
won?
white king in the center. Where's the black
Where's the
king?
black king? Yeah, okay, they did not put it up yet. Yeah, guys. It
Show us, guys. Where are the kings?
I think from body language here, it looks like Gukesh lost, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he's
No,
not
but
happy.
the
But-
last position looks equal.
It definitely looks equal. Maybe it was a draw. King takes, because you have 97 coming. But no, he could just go Ricky too. Oh, but 96.
Put the
Wait,
kings
did he
in the
win?
center, guys.
But Nihal's final last move just now was probably a mistake, and yeah, it's
he can sack the
Prague is
queen.
much better, maybe even
Oh, he
winning.
can. Oh, my
because we
goodness.
can take
That's
the
a
rook now with
devastating-
check, and then go rook b2, or the immediate. Even
Oh, he missed it.
Oh, yeah, he missed
Goes
it. Yeah,
rook
and
right
takes
away.
take.
Is there a big change here?
Yeah, rook B2 is
It's
good,
a
though.
big change here. It's not a good move. Is there a bishop sacrifice, bishop g8 check? Some nasty things?
Ooh, definitely
Ooh, rook
possible. It probably would perpetuate.
yeah, but now he's
that.
winning
Penny.
against because queen b2 check now, right? King of
Oh,
queen b2 check.
Handshake!
Oh my goodness! The pain!
And that probably clinch.
Prague wins.
Hang on.
My good, with the
Whoa,
black
so
pieces.
important win for black here. They get
Oh,
4
man.
points.
Wow.
And Shah gets
huge
only
win.
3 points.
Oh,
So-
that hurts.
Everything will hinge on that board, on that game between Polina Shuvalova and Elisabeth Paehtz on board 5,
What a
because it looks like there's one
disappointment.
victory for white on board 2, one victory for black on board 6 for the SG Alpine Warriors. Board 4 between Alexander Kostyanyuk and Irina Krush will be a draw, and board 5 will decide the entire match.
There you have Elisabeth Paehtz beating Polina Shuvalova, and on board number 4 we had a result. It was a draw. And are we sure that Mamedyarov actually won his game? I think yes, Mamedyarov
Yes.
won, which means that was the only victory for the Chingari Gulf Titans. The match ends with a score of 6-11 in the favor of SG Alpine Warriors. There you see both the
Wow.
girls of
Fired up.